The heart of Los Angeles pulsed with its usual vibrancy, a stark contrast to the anxieties gripping the nation amidst the Great Recession. Yet life went on, especially for families like the Lupos, residing in the bustling Westlake district. Irvin Lupo, a 40-year-old medical technician, was the patriarch of their seemingly ordinary family. Irvin, a dedicated employee at the renowned Kaiser Permanente Medical Center, carried the weight of his family's well-being on his shoulders. His wife, Anna, shared the responsibility, contributing to the family income with her own job at the same hospital. Together, they strived to provide a comfortable life for their 5 children. Their eldest daughter, Brittany, was a bright and promising teenager on the verge of adulthood with dreams of her own. Jasmine, their second daughter, filled their days with laughter and youthful energy. And then there were the twins, Benjamin and Christian, their mischievous smiles a constant reminder of the simple joys of life. The Lupo family, like many others across America, chased the elusive American dream. Irvin and Anna worked tirelessly, believing that their hard work would secure a brighter future for their children. Little did they know that fate had a cruel twist in store, one that would shatter their world and leave an indelible mark on the annals of Los Angeles history. The Westlake district, nestled in the heart of Los Angeles, was a melting pot of cultures and dreams. Families from all walks of life called this vibrant neighborhood home, drawn by its promise of opportunity and a chance at a better life. The streets buzzed with activity, a symphony of languages and scents filling the air. Small businesses thrived alongside larger enterprises, reflecting the entrepreneurial spirit that pulsed through the community. Parks and playgrounds offered a respite from the urban hustle, echoing with the laughter of children. The Lupo family was one among many, their story woven into the fabric of this diverse and dynamic neighborhood. Life in Westlake was not without its challenges. The socioeconomic landscape was as varied as its residents, and the gap between the haves and have-nots was evident. Yet there was a sense of community, a shared understanding that everyone was in it together, striving for a better tomorrow. For the Lupos, Westlake was more than just a place to live. It was their sanctuary, their haven. It was where their children played, where friendships blossomed, and where they built their dreams. It was a stark contrast to the dark cloud of despair that would soon engulf their lives, leaving an unforgettable tragedy etched in the heart of the community. The Lupo family, much like their neighbors, held onto the enduring promise of the American dream. It was a beacon of hope, a shared aspiration that fueled their days and nights. Irvin and Anna believed that hard work and dedication would pave the path to a brighter future. They envisioned their children thriving and reaching for the stars. The dream was about creating a legacy of opportunity. But the American dream was not without its complexities. Economic downturns exposed the fragility of dreams. The Lupo family would soon find themselves caught in a crisis. The year 2009 will forever be etched in the annals of American history as a time of profound economic turmoil. The Great Recession cast a long shadow across the nation, leaving countless families grappling with job losses and foreclosures. The very foundations of the American dream seemed to crumble. From Wall Street to Main Street, the crisis reverberated through every corner of society. The stock market plummeted, wiping out trillions in savings and investments. Businesses shuttered, unable to weather the economic storm, and millions of Americans found themselves out of work. The Lupo family's financial stability, once a source of pride and comfort, was dealt a devastating blow in early 2009. Irvin and Anna, both employed by the prestigious Kaiser Permanente Medical Center, were suddenly and unexpectedly let go from their jobs. The news, delivered with cold finality, sent shockwaves through the family, leaving them reeling from the sudden loss of income and the uncertainty that lay ahead. The circumstances surrounding their dismissal only added to their despair. Reports emerged that their departures were linked to allegations of falsified work documents, a claim that cast a pall over their reputations and deepened their sense of shame and humiliation. Whether the allegations were true or not became almost irrelevant in the face of the harsh reality that they were now jobless, facing an uncertain future with 5 children to support. The job losses at Kaiser Permanente were not isolated incidents. The healthcare giant, like many other companies across the nation, was grappling with the fallout from the recession. Cost-cutting measures were implemented, leading to layoffs and hiring freezes, leaving countless families struggling to make ends meet. For the Lupo family, the loss of their jobs was more than just a financial setback. It was a blow to their identity, their sense of self-worth, and their belief in their ability to provide for their children. The American dream, once within reach, now seemed like a cruel illusion, replaced by a harsh new reality of economic hardship and despair. With each passing day, the Lupo family's financial situation grew increasingly precarious. The loss of their dual income had ripped a gaping hole in their finances, leaving them struggling to keep their heads above water. Bills piled up, threatening to drown them in a sea of debt. The mortgage payments, once manageable, now loomed large, casting a shadow of fear over their once happy home. The specter of eviction haunted their thoughts, adding to the already overwhelming pressure they faced. The pantry, once stocked with an abundance of food, now held meager rations, a constant reminder of their dwindling resources. The laughter of their children, once a source of joy, now carried a tinge of sadness, as if the children themselves sensed the growing despair that had enveloped their home. Irvin, once a pillar of strength for his family, now found himself burdened by a crushing sense of responsibility and helplessness. He had always prided himself on his ability to provide for his loved ones, but now, faced with an economic crisis beyond his control, he felt like a failure. The weight of their financial woes pressed down on him, threatening to crush his spirit. He searched desperately for work, pounding the pavement, submitting countless applications, but to no avail. The recession had created a fiercely competitive job market, and opportunities were scarce, especially for those with a recent job loss and a cloud of controversy hanging over their heads. As their financial situation spiraled downward, the Lupo family reached out for help, desperately seeking a lifeline in a sea of despair. They contacted social service agencies, hoping to secure government assistance that would help them keep a roof over their heads and food on the table. They explored options for mortgage relief, praying for a miracle that would allow them to stay in their home. Their pleas for help were met with a mix of sympathy and bureaucratic roadblocks. The economic crisis had overwhelmed social service agencies, leaving them inundated with requests for assistance. Wait lists for programs stretched on for months, offering little hope for immediate relief. The Lupo family, once accustomed to self-sufficiency, was now forced to navigate the complex and often dehumanizing world of public assistance. They swallowed their pride, accepting handouts from local food banks and charities, grateful for any morsel of help that came their way. Their plight was a stark reminder that even in a nation as prosperous as the United States, economic hardship could strike anyone at any time. Despite their best efforts, the Lupo family's search for a lifeline proved futile. The economic crisis, like a relentless tide, continued to pull them under, eroding their hope, their resilience, and their belief in a brighter future. The American dream, once a source of inspiration, now felt like a cruel mockery of their desperate situation. The Lupo family's once organized life, filled with simple joys, was now consumed by relentless financial pressure. The loss of their income created a domino effect, each unpaid bill toppling onto the next. The cheerful yellow walls of their home now seemed to close in, reflecting their shrinking world. The constant ringing of the telephone became a source of dread. Debt collectors hounded them relentlessly, demanding payment they didn't have. Every unanswered call and ignored letter deepened their feelings of shame. The American dream was now a cruel reminder of what they had lost. The Lupo family, once active members of their church community and frequent visitors to local parks and events, retreated further into themselves as their financial troubles mounted. The shame of their situation, the fear of judgment from friends and neighbors, kept them isolated, their world shrinking with each passing day. Sunday mornings, once filled with the uplifting spirit of their church community, were now met with a mix of longing and apprehension. The joyous hymns and words of encouragement seemed to mock their despair, highlighting the chasm between their former life and their current reality. The friendly greetings and knowing smiles of fellow parishioners, once a source of comfort, now felt like veiled judgments, reminding them of their fall from grace. The Lupos found themselves withdrawing from social gatherings, avoiding phone calls, and making excuses for their absence at community events. The once familiar streets of their Westlake neighborhood, once a source of connection and warmth, now felt cold and indifferent. Their isolation deepened their despair, creating a vicious cycle that seemed impossible to break. Their home, once filled with the sounds of children playing and the aroma of home-cooked meals, became eerily quiet. The laughter that once echoed through the hallways was replaced by a heavy silence, punctuated by the hushed whispers of Irvin and Anna as they discussed their dwindling options, their voices heavy with worry and resignation. Irvin Lupo, once a proud patriarch, found himself trapped in despair. The loss of his job and mounting debts eroded his self-worth. The American dream now felt like a cruel illusion. Rejection letters piled up, each one a blow to his fragile ego. He felt defeated by an unforgiving job market. Long hours searching for work highlighted the futility of his efforts. He withdrew from his family, seeking solace in solitude. The weight of responsibilities suffocated him with hopelessness. His children's laughter now felt like a knife twisting in his gut. His once warm eyes now held a haunted, distant look. The man who had been their rock was crumbling under the weight. His silence and withdrawal hinted at a consuming darkness. Section 4. The unraveling signs of distress and the desperate search for solace. Section 1, January 27, 2009, a day etched in tragedy. Section 2, the chilling letter, a father's desperate plea and accusations. The dispatcher's voice crackled over the police radio, relaying a chilling message that sent a chill down the spines of the responding officers. The details of the crime, as they slowly emerged, sent shockwaves through the city and beyond. The news of the Lupo family tragedy spread like wildfire, leaving a community reeling in shock and disbelief. The tragic story of the Lupo family spread like wildfire, quickly engulfing the airwaves and newspaper headlines across the nation. The nation, still reeling from the shock of the Lupo family tragedy, grappled for answers, searching for explanations in a desperate attempt to make sense of the senseless. The Lupo family tragedy thrust Kaiser Permanente, Irvin's former employer, into the harsh glare of the media spotlight. As the media frenzy swirled around them, the residents of the Westlake District sought solace in shared grief and remembrance. Despite the passage of time, the Lupo family tragedy continues to cast a long shadow, its memory etched in the annals of Los Angeles history. The horrific events of that fateful January day left an indelible mark on the community. Yet, even as the city mourned, a multitude of unanswered questions lingered. The circumstances surrounding Irvin Lupo's actions remained shrouded in complexity. Was his final act the desperate act of a loving father, or did it stem from a darker place? The search for definitive answers proved elusive, leaving a void filled with conjecture and speculation. Section 2. The Importance of Mental Health, a Community Awakened. The Lupo family tragedy served as a tragic wake-up call for the city of Los Angeles, a stark reminder of the often hidden struggles faced by individuals and families in the grip of mental health challenges. In the aftermath of the tragedy, a collective sense of urgency emerged, a determination to confront the stigma surrounding mental illness and to create a more supportive and compassionate community. The Lupo family's story became a catalyst for change, prompting a citywide conversation about the importance of mental health awareness and the need for increased access to mental health services. Community leaders, mental health professionals, and everyday citizens joined forces, working together to create a safety net for those struggling with depression, anxiety, and other mental health challenges. Schools implemented mental health awareness programs, educating students about the signs and symptoms of mental illness and encouraging them to seek help without shame or fear of judgment. Workplaces, recognizing the impact of mental health on employee well-being, expanded their employee assistance programs, offering confidential counseling and support services. The Lupo family's legacy, though born of tragedy, became intertwined with a growing movement to prioritize mental health, to create a community where seeking help was not seen as a sign of weakness, but as a courageous act of self-care. The ripple effect, lessons learned and lives touched. The Lupo family tragedy resonated globally, highlighting universal financial struggles and mental health issues. It sparked conversations about social safety nets and mental health stigma. The tragedy inspired acts of kindness and support worldwide. The Lupo family's legacy became a call for a more compassionate world. Honoring their memory through action. Years have passed since the tragic events in the Westlake District, yet the memory of the Lupo family continues to resonate. Their legacy lives on, inspiring action and a commitment to prevent such tragedies. The Lupo family's story urges us to prioritize mental health awareness, reach out to those struggling, and advocate for supportive policies. In their memory, let us choose compassion, understanding, and action. Let their story be a catalyst for positive change and hope. Preventing another tragedy. The Lupo family reminds us of hidden struggles behind closed doors. We must recognize warning signs and reach out with compassion. Their legacy can be one of hope and prevention. Raise awareness, break stigma, and advocate for mental health services. Each of us plays a role in creating a supportive community. Recognize distress signs in loved ones and offer kindness. Reach out for help. You are not alone. Together, we can prevent future tragedies.